You the melody, the words, you the chorus. 'Cause you gladly laid your life down for us. For all the blessings that you bring, you're the only song I ever wanna sing.
It is a Christian Music Spotlight show. We are on location here from Celebration Center in Puyallup, Washington for this special edition of our show. I'm Joe Neal. Thank you so much for joining us. Coming up, we've got the music video from Lybecker, Shipwrecked, on the way, plus our interview with Remedy Drive still to come right here. Right now, we have our special guest at this time, the group who opened for Remedy Drive today. Please welcome from Kingston, Washington, local band around here, The Exchange. Hi, guys. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Thanks for taking the time to join us here. Now, tell us what it was like here on tour, kind of opening for Remedy Drive and Lybecker, and kind of tell us what this whole tour experience has been like for you.
Well, we have 2 more shows with Remedy Drive. We had just 2, one in Kingston on Thursday night, and then now, and it's been fun so far. I would say that the Remedy Drive guys have been really nice, and we enjoy hanging around with them. So they're fun, yeah.
Now, how did you guys all get started as a band out there in Kingston? Kind of tell us how the band, as we all know it, came to pass.
Well, Jack, do you wanna tell us one?
Sure. How it started was that, first of all, he was leading worship as just a solo project, and then eventually, through a series of events, we got involved with the band. This is my brother, by the way. And then through a series of events, we also lost our bassist, and we had to pick up Gregor.
Had to.
Absolutely had to. Yeah. And so, yeah, and then we've been playing shows, and we've been loving it. And so we've been around for almost 2 years. I think our 2-year anniversary is coming up in June.
It was March, actually.
March, actually, yeah.
There's kind of a cool detail. Mikey, Jack, and we actually met at a concert called The Classic Crime. And then actually 2 shows after we formed, we got to play with them, which was a really neat opportunity.
Now, kind of explain how your music has evolved over the couple of years that you've been a band. Kind of tell viewers who might not be familiar with your sound, kind of what your sound is like, who you might compare it to, and who might some of your musical influences be that might have shaped your sound as it is now.
Okay. It's actually kind of funny because we kind of describe it like if you take 10th Avenue North and you take Switchfoot and you take Remedy Drive and Sent by Ravens, and 2 of them got married, the other 2 got married, they both had kids, they got married, and they had a kid. That's us.
That's what it was.
So we're kind of rock. We're rock. We're worship. We can be hard at times. We can be soft. So and you'll see that on our album, and then you can also see it in other music too. We can be both. If you took all 4 of those, and we were the grandchildren, that's what we are. So and but we started out as a worship band, and we've kind of evolved from doing more worship stuff to now doing more rock stuff. It's cool. We still do worship events, but yeah.
Have a mix of the two.
Yeah, so we're worshipers first. We lead worship at home, and then we're rock band second. So it's cool. Yeah.
Now, do you guys mostly perform locally, or is it been some different places that you guys have performed that's kind of been your favorite so far?
Actually, right now we're on our 3-week tour, and we went down through Arizona and California and Oregon, and came back up here, and we're actually headed up through Idaho and Montana with Remedy Drive as well as an event for us. Yeah, this side of it. We generally play in Washington, Oregon most of the time when it's just kind of normal time, spot events and stuff like that. But we also love to play locally. So.
Now, of course, what advice would you give? Of course, you guys are kind of climbing the music scene. What type of advice would you give those similar bands who are kind of starting out on the indie scene, who are kind of maybe leading worship at their church right now, or kind of looking to kind of make a name for themselves as a band? What type of advice would you give those musicians out there?
Well, I know for me, I think, all of us, I think, will agree in this, that it takes time. There are very few bands that will hit it off really fast. And it's kind of you have to work hard and pay your dues, and what I mean by that is you have to play little shows sometimes where, I mean, we've played shows where there's 3 people watching us play, and we're still going as hard as we are when there's 300. So it's a matter of not giving up on, being disappointed when there's not many people that are coming to your shows, because you're still it's still practice, it's still bonding as a team and getting tighter. So I would say if you're starting out, just continue to play. And we practiced, at one point we were practicing 1 to 2 times a week, even when we weren't playing shows all the time, just getting better as a group and getting closer. So indie bands, I would say, it's going to take time. Don't get discouraged. And we're still working hard. So do you have anything else? Yeah.
I think for me, it's definitely like, I know we all have really like rough spots, and sometimes we get annoyed with each other sometimes, and so I think that my advice for upcoming bands that are like doing shows once in a while and also that are full-time touring is like to always be easygoing and not be so tough on the other band members, because everybody's going to have bad days. Everybody's going to be feeling stressed out sometimes, and you got to share the bad moments with the good moments. Yeah. So you can't always have the good moments, but if you share the bad moments with the rest of your band members, you're for sure going to have some good moments. So.
Any particular favorite scriptures that you have going along that might motivate you and kind of as you might be playing or writing music, any particular one that might click at any certain time?
Well, no. I think at least 2 of the songs I've written so far have been about David. I really like David and just him in general. He's kind of one of my favorite characters in the Bible. That and Paul. I love Paul. But David was a great songwriter, wrote a lot of good songs, and I like how he wrote the songs. And I think a lot of our kind of, the way we write music and who we are as people, we all come from broken places, but even in our brokenness, God always says to turn back to Him. So in our writing and kind of in our lifestyles, we kind of portray the idea that, in the Psalms, when you're broken, God is still good. And so I think the Psalms are a huge part of us as a band, but I don't know, I don't have a specific one really. Do you have any?
We should come up with that.
Figure
something out for that.
Yeah.
One that I try to keep in mind when we're, doing this rock music and stuff is Paul says that, even if you speak in the tongues of angels but have not love, you're nothing more than a clanging gong. So, if we're up here just playing rock music, it's just a clanging gong, clanging gong or whatever. But, we have to have that love of Jesus.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Now, beyond the music, of course, what's your main message that you want to send to your fans when they leave one of your shows or even a show like this or one of your other ones? What's kind of the main message beyond the music that you want those people to leave with when they leave one of your shows?
Like Mikey was saying earlier, just a message of hope and brokenness being fixed in the beauty of God's majesty. One of our songs talks about He's the name above all names and He's the healer of all our pain. Like those two things go together. When you're majestic, He's majestic because He heals our pain. And also just, I think one of the biggest things we enjoy as a band, we love the relationships we form with kids. And it's just great to go to a new city, even if it's just for like 10 kids. We love just to make friends with each one of those kids and talk with them on Facebook. And that's making them feel valued. Like we love to do that and just share our message of brokenness being made whole.
Now, of course, where can we find you guys and find out more about your music and where fans and viewers can kind of catch up with you and find out more about you?
Well, we have, I guess, really only one spot at this point. We're working on a website soon that'll be up and running, but you can check us out on facebook.com/The Exchange Rock, and you can get updates from that. We also have a Reverb Nation. You can search for The Exchange Rock, but and then we should have a website soon, so keep looking for that.
Actually, we're hoping after this tour that we are going to hopefully record a single, actually, with our producer that produced our EP, Neil B. Young, and that should be out probably before summer, after summer, during summer, I guess. So, yeah, we're pretty excited about that.
And you can use the Facebook to find that, too.
Yep.
So if you go to your Facebook page, you'll be able to find out about your updates. And
everything.
the posts
Yep,
and
everything's
all that
on there.
right
You can listen to music. You can look where we're going to be on the road. Photos, videos, all that stuff's on Facebook. So
nice. We definitely pray for your guys' continued success. May you continue to lead many to the gospel, and we just pray for wherever you go across this great nation that you're able to do many things for the kingdom. And we definitely much success, you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to appear on our show, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more. We got Lybecker's music video Shipwrecked coming up around the corner, plus our interview with the guys from Remedy Drive. We'll talk about All Along, the latest band members, how the band has changed since their newest editions, and a whole lot more. Right after this. Right now, let's take a look at the concert calendar, a look at who might be coming to your area in your city sometime soon. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
You the melody, the words, you the chorus. 'Cause you gladly laid your life down for us. For all the blessings that you bring, you're the only song I ever want to sing.
For more Rehoboth Ministries, we invite you to tune into our normal hour-long editions, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. and Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m., only on TCTV Channel 22. Join Pastor Christy Horowitz and Associate Pastors Gary Kale and Jim Presley as they deliver fun, exciting, and biblical sermons that will apply to your everyday life. That's Rehoboth Ministries' normal hour-long editions, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. and Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. on TCTV. Welcome back to the Christian Music Spotlight. You just seen our guest, The Exchange. Coming up, we still have our interview with Remedy Drive and also a music video from these guys who we have right now. Shipwrecked is coming up in just a little bit. Right now, we have our guests. They came and appeared with us on Creation 2011 back in Enumclaw last summer. They're here with us one more time. Please welcome once again local area band Lybecker. Hi, guys.
How's it going?
Good. How you doing?
Good. I'm tired.
That was a great show tonight. Kind of tell us what you guys have been up to since we caught up with you last summer and kind of what's been going on.
Just touring a lot. We had just released our EP last time we saw you, and so we've just been touring off that nonstop. We've hit both coasts and everything in between. So,
And we're gearing up in a week to make some more new tunes and release it this summer.
Nice. Now, I know, of course, you guys perform with Remedy Drive. Kind of what's it like kind of performing with a band like that, and kind of what's that experience been like for you?
It's been good. They're all really nice guys. It's fun to be able to pick their brains and learn from those guys and those kind of bands.
Now, of course, not too long ago, of course, you will see the music video here in just a couple of minutes on the program, but the music video Shipwreck was the first music video you guys have done. Kind of describe what it was like kind of doing your first music video as a band and what that whole thing was like.
It was very cold.
yeah.
A good friend of ours, his name is Jade Ehlers, and Jansen Power, and those guys were the brains behind the video. They came up with a whole concept, and we kind of just we were just told what to do, and we just did it. But it was, I say cold because we shot the video at sunrise on the beach at like 2-3 a.m. in the morning.
It was done overnight, wasn't it, as I recall?
Yeah, it was, and it was October, and it was freezing. But if you look at Dan really closely in the video and me on the close-ups, you can see how cold we are.
The things we won't do for music videos.
I know, right? Yeah.
Has the success of the music video kind of surprised you? Because I know we just, pretty much we're coming up on 4,000 views already, which kind of blew you guys away. Are you guys surprised at all kind of by the success that's taken off out of YouTube right now?
Yeah, I was pretty blown away. It's actually over 4,000 now, and I think we were joking around and saying, like, wouldn't it be cool if we got like 1,000 hits a day, and then just kind of dreaming. And the first day it almost got 2,000, and so then the next day it was another 1,000. The next day it was another 1,000, and so we were like, "That's awesome."
Yeah.
So we're just really thankful that people like it so much.
Nice. Now, for those that missed Creation, kind of tell us real quickly how the band was formed. Of course, right here where we are, Celebration Center here in Puyallup. Your family actually knows this church pretty well. So kind of tell us, you got your start kind of around this area. Kind of tell us how you guys as a band were kind of formed together around here.
Okay, let's kind of do this in three parts. Well, me and Dan have been friends since high school, and so I actually kind of grew up going to this church, well, from about high school on.
Okay.
And we both played in different bands, and so then I met him through shows, and we were in different bands, but then we just became friends from playing concerts.
Yeah, so then we went to college and went our separate ways, but then we ended up coming back together a few years after college, and we had our different paths that we had taken, both through youth ministry and both also with that desire to continue to play music. So Dewey was already playing some acoustic shows here and there, and I joined quickly after that with them to just partner with them in music, and then.
And how I joined the band was I actually met Dan when I was in France. I did a short-term mission trip there, He was actually living over there for a year. And my youth group came over there, and we all hung out, and I was on staff there, and we started talking, and I mean, we shared a lot of the same music. So, I mean, we came back home, and then I realized that he actually lives like, you know, a little like a drive away. So he hit me up and was like, "Hey, we're starting this project. Do you wanna join?" And I was actually I was in another band at the time, but things kind of just fell away. So just God completely like showed away and just joined the band. So
So how long have you guys been together as a formal band now?
I would say this is our 3rd year. Is that right? I forget. This is our 3rd year.
Now, since then, I've seen and followed you guys, and you guys have actually, like you said, kind of performed coast to coast and literally almost gone everywhere. Has there been a particular city or a particular place you guys have been that's you've kind of fallen in love with or found your favorite at this point?
I think we all have different ones.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to. It would be hard to just pinpoint one. I would say, I don't know. Every place. The thing that's cool about traveling is every place kind of has its own charm. You know, it would be hard to choose a favorite. Being from Washington, it rains a lot here, and so I tend to love the places that it doesn't rain as much.
The warmer spots, right?
The last time we were on the East Coast, we went through Pennsylvania, and I think I really dug that area the best so far, just as far as the drives. So
Nice.
I just like Southern California in general. Just surfing, sunny weather. You know, it's warm.
Can't beat that.
Yeah.
So any particular favorite scriptures you have that inspire you as you're kind of writing music or just going along daily stuff for that matter?
I think we all have our own favorites. I would say my favorite verse is Jeremiah 33:3, which just says, "Call on me, and I will show you great and unsearchable things you do not know yet." And I just like that verse because it just says like, God's almost promising us. Well, it's not almost. He is promising us. He's just saying, if you trust me, you know, I'll show you some pretty crazy stuff. So
I'd say just a verse that's really capturing my heart right now is just James 1:27 is just true religion is to look after the orphans and widows and just love the people that are in our path. So this is just a verse that is personally something that is touching my heart right now. So
Yeah, a verse that's touching my heart is actually in James 2, James 1:1, where it says, "Consider it pure joy, brethren, if you endure such trials, for the trials that you face actually produce faith." And it's just really encouraging to me because hard times happen, so that's actually an opportunity for me to grow and have more faith.
It's our Christian Music Spotlight. We're here with the band Lybecker. Now, guys, beyond the music, when people leave a show like this, kind of here in your hometown or watching us right now, just got done with Remedy Drive, you're just on tour, you're coast to coast. Beyond the music, what's kind of the main message that you want to leave your fans leaving your show with when they leave a show?
I would say hope. You know, just if that was the way to sum it up, I would just say hope.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
So, guys, kind of tell us what you got coming up for the rest of the year. Now, you guys say you're going back in recording some new music, and hopefully later this summer. Is there anything we can look forward to down the turnpike from you guys?
just be excited for some new music as we are excited for some new music.
And a new music video.
Yeah.
More new music videos, of course, hopefully. Now, have you guys got all the material, hopefully, for this next release, or are you still kind of working on that as we speak?
Well, the thing is, we're always writing, and so we have a bunch of ideas, and so where we're at is trying to choose which one.
Just kind of creatively make it come together into one.
Well, it's just more of like, okay, well, which songs do we release next? So.
That kind of thing. Must be nice. Now, here sometimes different artists, they have maybe 20 or 25 songs sometimes, and they go, okay, yeah, this one's next, that one's next, and so they kind of have a way of doing it that way.
Yeah, what we kind of do, I mean, I guess it's different every time. We usually try to go into the studio with enough songs to where, but then we figure out, okay, well, which songs are going to be grouped well together, you know?
Nice.
So it's not just random songs, but they're actually kind of a consistency among them.
Do you guys have a favorite song in particular to perform when you're doing shows like this? Is there a particular one that kind of translates well live?
I would say for me, we all have different
Yeah.
favorite ones. We all love ones. I would say my favorite one right now is probably a song we have called In Between.
Nice.
I'd probably say "Miss You" is my favorite one to play.
Yeah, my favorite one to play is Better. I mean, these guys know it. Like, it's just a really groovy song and a really good message. So.
Now, of course, one more question we have for you. And, of course, we're about to watch the music video, Shipwrecked. Kind of tell our viewers a little bit of background as far as where the song kind of creatively came from and what the meaning of the song is about.
Well, I was watching the TV show The Biggest Loser, and I've only seen one of the seasons, so I don't know if every season is like this, but it kind of blew my mind because a lot of times you see all these TV shows, these reality TV shows where, people are like, pushing each other down, trying to win that prize, whether it's $1 million or a car or whatever. And everybody on this show, on this particular season, was about the benefit of somebody else. And they're willing to say, hey, you know what, like, you need to be here more than I do, so I'm going to take off. And that really blew my mind because it's like saying, hey, you need to be here more than I need $1 million. And I know, like, we could all use $1 million right now, and
Especially after that Mega Million.
I know, right? I know. I was hoping, but it didn't work. But and so it just made me think about best friends and how we all need a friend that's going to believe in us when we don't believe in ourselves. And so that's kind of like the message of that song and kind of where it came from.
Now, kind of tell us where our viewers can kind of find you and connect with you online and, of course, on Facebook and all that nice little fun stuff.
Yeah.
And we're going to find out more about your music there and what you got coming up.
Yeah, so we have a website, www.lybeckermusic.com, and then also on facebook.com/LybeckerBand. And then on Twitter, just search, it's actually at Lybecker Music, not at Lybecker, because that's a person.
Some random kid.
Yeah. People do that, but it's actually at Lybecker Music, so that's our Twitter.
And like we found out last time, if you still do Lybecker, do you still come up with the squirrel thing?
The story changes. The story changes.
The story changes.
I
I'm just seeing if that story still is
I gotta come
circulating
clean.
around there.
I gotta
'cause
come
that-
clean. I gotta come clean about something right now. So we were doing this radio interview in Oregon once, and we were on tour with Sanctus Real, and I started telling this story about how I used to be a cage fighter in Tijuana, and then he was believing me, and so I was like, okay. Yeah, and so I felt bad, so I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna take it so far over the edge that there's no way he could believe me, and I was like, yeah, and so I was like, the weird thing is, I didn't fight people, I fought small animals, like squirrels and stuff. And he was still believing me.
Still did?
Yeah, and so I was like. And so after a while, after he kept buying it, so I just let him believe it.
Of course, on Facebook. Now, I noticed on Facebook, Lybecker on Tour. Is that also where we can find you guys, too? I know there's a Lybecker on Tour one, too.
That's just one we started a long time ago, and then we have our fan page now, but that one still exists. Kind of thing.
Every now and then.
We
So.
mostly use our fan page.
Yeah.
So definitely want to encourage people to go over to the Lybecker Music one, definitely. So we thank you, definitely. This is probably one of your few shows in your hometown for a little while again. You guys back on the road again here?
On the road again.
Well, definitely as you travel coast to coast, up and down this great country, definitely pray for continued success wherever you guys go. May you continue to lead many, may you continue to grow and to prosper and continue to have new doors open to you, continue to find much success. So we thank you guys for definitely coming on with us again, and just thank you for all you guys do.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. We've got the music video Shipwrecked around the corner. We've also got the guys from Remember to Drive stopping by for a couple minutes for their second appearance on our show. That and so much more when we come back on the Christian Music Spotlight Show. Stick around. We'll be back after this from Puyallup.
Coming this summer, Creation 2012, the nation's largest family-friendly Christian music festival. July 18th to the 21st in Enumclaw, Washington. The best live concerts, extreme sports and games, worship, kids under 5 free camping, and much more. Invite your church, family, and friends and come experience Switchfoot, the Newsboys, 10th Avenue North, Mercy Me, and over 100 other bands and speakers. Buy tickets and get info now at creationfest.com.
For more Rehoboth Ministries, we invite you to tune into our normal hour-long editions, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. and Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m., only on TCTV Channel 22. Join Pastor Christy Horowitz and Associate Pastors Gary Kale and Jim Presley as they deliver fun, exciting, and biblical sermons that will apply to your everyday life. That's Rehoboth Ministries' normal hour-long editions, Sunday nights at 9 p.m. and Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. on TCTV. That's all the time we have for this edition of our program. Remedy Drive from Puyallup joins us on the next edition of our program, plus Worth Dying For and a whole lot more on the next Christian Music Spotlight. We're going to leave you now with Lybecker and their music video, Shipwrecked. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you back here next time on the Christian Music Spotlight, the week of April 22nd. I'm Joseph Neal. Stay tuned for all new Rehoboth Ministries, where God made room for all and they prospered. Coming up next on the other side of the music video. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next. And we'll see you next time for the Christian Music Spotlight. God bless everybody.
Let's do something a little different tonight.
Woo! I like the idea when it's like we just come together and just can be.
I'll be the sun when your sky is clouding up, when you feel like you're not enough. The times when you've seen it all and you try to feel, just to feel it all. It's hard to stay up with the waves crashing. It's never too late, never give up trying. When you're sinking so fast, I'll be by your side. I'll follow you down, I won't let you drown when you're shipwrecked. I'll be the calm when the current has got you caught and we can't see the top. The tides will come and go, even now though it's hard, they're sure to go. It's hard to stay up with the waves crashing. It's never too late, never give up trying. When you're sinking so fast, I'll be by your side. I'll follow you down, I won't let you drown. We've come this far, let you give up. Now you were so much more than you see in yourself. I'll follow you down, I won't let you drown when you're shipwrecked.